This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, good morning, all of you. Thanks for joining this session. Uh, Let me share my screen. I hope everyone can able to hear me. Let me know if you have any issues in that. I'm going to share my screen also. If you cannot able to see my screen, I will stop and share again. I just shared my screen. Hope you able to see me, see my screen.
Yes, we are able to see the screen.
Able to see it. If anyone facing any issue, please let me know. We'll see. I'm going to start the session. So today, as it is a very first day for our training, uh, and one more request, let me make you all mute or mute yourself. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and you can ask me. Okay, or you can ping a message if there are questions and all. Okay, and now I'm going to start the session with some presentation. Okay, as it is our very first session, it's almost like a theory session. Some of you might get bored, but our primary agenda is to discuss something about DevOps. You would like to know. I mean, some of you might have already working on some other area. You maybe plan like you want to switch to DevOps, and maybe some of you not at started career, and you maybe start your career with the DevOps also as a fresher or some or experienced or something. But today our primary agenda is to like what is DevOps and why is DevOps and what are all the DevOps tools we need to learn as per our current market expectations, and what are all the different various opportunities in DevOps. DevOps is not only one. There are many number of opportunities, only part of DevOps. And finally, you'll have a question. You can, I mean, if you have any questions, you can let us know. So overall, almost like in the very first 30 to 40 minutes, I will try to complete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and after that, after 40 minutes, if you have any questions, and you can let us know. We will discuss. Maybe you have some lot of questions about the DevOps and career opportunities and all. You can let us know. The very first thing. We would like to introduce myself and my teammate also, my co-trainer like Venna Venkat Reddy. I mean, you can use short name like Venna. Let me correct it. And we, even in my friends group also, we usually call him like Venna. His full name is Venna Venkat Reddy. My name is Venkat Narayan Reddy. It's a full length name, and my friends usually call him like Venkat. Some people call me like Narayan Reddy, and most of the in most of my friends are calling me like SVN Reddy or something. So to add your confusion, we are giving you some short names. You can call my co-trainer like Twenna, and you can call me like Venkat or SVN Reddy or Narayan Reddy. It's a different name. You can use a different name because Venkat is the common name. Okay, anyway, we have around minimum 7 years of experience into DevOps. Earlier, it is started with build and release, build team and deployment team. And nowadays, everything is, expectation is same, like DevOps is only. So we will see what is DevOps and all. So we have minimum 7 years of experience into DevOps. We will try to give you as we can about DevOps as part of our training. Okay, now let's dive into our actual session. What is DevOps and why today market, why most of the companies are trying to use this DevOps. I'm trying to give you explanation about all these things. Just a minute. Let me hide this thing. Okay. I would like to give you an example to make you understand very easily. I'm trying to give you an example. So the example is very simple example. For example, if somebody approaches you, like any banking application or IRCTC or travels, for example, in our case, let me take in banking application. For example, if somebody approaches you and asks you to develop any bank application, what you will do exactly? You will start thinking about it, you will analyzing it, and you will prepare a lot of planning and how many resources are required, and so many things are there. For example, project means there are so many phases and so many stages are included. So many things are involved in our project development life cycle. So here SDLC, software development life cycle. Software development life cycle means today you started working on your project. For example, I'm the owner of the project. I'm giving you, I'm owner of the one of the bank. I'm giving you one of the bank application, and I'm asking you to develop a net banking application or Android application to perform my daily activities like managing users and transactions and debit schedules. There are so many things, if you know, because everybody have bank accounts nowadays. Everybody aware of the operations, what are all operations, minimum basic operations involved in banking application. So as I'm bank owner, I'm asking you to develop an software for me to perform daily activities, operations or something. So you will start thinking about it, how to develop this application, how many number of resources are required and all. Once everything is decided, you will start planning about it. How many days it will take? For example, the application includes like there's so many minimum services like operations like transactions and adding users, removing users, transactions. Transactions itself, there are many parts. IMPS, NEFT transaction. So for each and every module and like every service, you'll have to start thinking about it, and you'll have to plan. You'll have to plan exactly in how many days we can complete only transaction part. In how many days I can complete only adding users and removing users. And these are all sample examples I'm telling you. And for example, assuming you are, thus that day one is starting. Software development life cycle means there are so many phases are included. Like you have to plan how exactly you have to deliver your application. Deliver the application. You have to plan, you have to analysis, and you have to design the connectivities between one service to another service. For example, you transfer some amount. Again, there is a service called balance. Again, user have to check the balance after the transaction and before the transaction. There is a dependency from one service to another service. We have to connect both the services. So likewise, we have to design your entire software how to connect from one database to another database, or like one service to another service. It's a bit the complete actual design and coding part. How many programmers are required, and after that how many database designers are required, everything. It is here we are not exactly talking about resources. Once you decided everything about resources and all, from one day single day you have to start developing your application. At that time you will have to plan, and you will have to analyze about all these requirements and how many days it will take, and how to design my application and how to implement my application. And there are different stages I'm talking about. The fifth is how to test my application, how many servers are required to test my application, how many test environments also required. Test environment means development environment to test the developers. System environments, there are some integration tests, and UAT, user acceptance tests, to test the load also. There are various test environments. For each and every test environment, how many servers are required. And also finally, once you deliver your application into the servers, for example, you install your software into the production servers. Every day you have to maintain, like you have to health check your software. After you install, we are assuming like usually we are assuming like we are installed our software into the target servers, production servers. Job is not yet done with the only the installation. After installation also, post installation also, we have to check so many things. uh, every day we have to check whether the application is still up and running or not, whether it is down or not. We have to get alerts whenever the application is done. We have to get alerts For example, user is starting logging into your banking application. He started transaction. If application is down, user is, I mean, user may be little bit he feel like inconvenience. So to avoid all those things, some team is required to monitor our applications and servers also, to make sure server is always up and running. So here from this SDLC, what I'm trying to explain you, if you want to develop an application and you develop start your application today, and until the delivery there are so many stages. That's what I'm trying to explain you here from this SDLC. What you need to understand, there are phases, there are some stages. There are planning stage, there is analysis stage, you have to design, you have to implement, and you have to test, you have to prepare for you, prepare so many test cases to test your application. Finally there is a separate, you have to maintain your application. Further, you have to daily monitor. There are so many things, there are so many phases in your development life cycle. So this is actually a very simple life cycle phase to develop your software. uh, for any kind of, I mean, even if you take a very simple application, there are so many phases. So here exactly, where exactly the DevOps involving in our SDLC, software development lifecycle. Most probably the fourth and fifth and sixth stages. The fourth, fifth, and sixth stages, all these phases, the DevOps is involving. Let me explain you what are all. See, Dev means there are some development activities. Dev means development activities. Operations, OPS, ops means operations. Okay. So development activities are like, you have to, developer needs to code. I mean, these are all coding part and building part. Once the code is ready, we have to prepare some build scenarios, and after that we have to prepare some unit, some sample test scenarios, and after that we have to plan to delivery, when to delivery to our plan to delivery means plan to installation and target servers, like installing our software into target servers. It can be anything, either test environment or dev environment or any lower environment or higher production environments. So these are all comes under development activities. Okay, in previous olden days, we have, I mean, even nowadays also we have the same activities comes under development activities. Okay, operations means once the development phase is ready, once the code is ready and our package is ready, software is ready, operations team, either operations, part of operations, there are so many activities, like we have to deploy the software into the target software, I mean target server, target server. And we have to perform so many operations, like monitoring the application whether it is healthy working or not. CPU is I mean, we have enough CPUs and we have enough memory, hardware memory, and whether it is running properly or not. Every day we have to check, we have to set some alerts also. If once a server is any server is done or service is down, we have to get, I mean, our operations team will get notification. Like that we have so many activities under operations. So there are, we have, I mean, there are two categories, dev and ops, development activities and operations activities. In olden days, I mean, olden days means just before 5 years ago, before DevOps, there are different teams, development teams, testing, part of development activities. We have a number of teams: build team, coding team, developers, actual developers, and the testing team, architectures, Selenium automation testing team, and either manual testing teams. Everything comes under development activities only. Planning team, and like architectures, the entire architectures. And now come to this operations means the servers, infrastructure admins, server admins, Linux admins, and deployment teams, and operations team, release managers, and these are all comes under operations activities. So earlier we have different teams for each and every area. Now the expectation is, both the teams, all the teams, now even nowadays also we have all the same teams, but expectation is all the teams will have to work together, and all the teams will have to deliver the software as early as possible. They have to reduce the time, development time and operations time. further purpose, we have some automated tools in our market where we can efficiently manage our code, where we can efficiently and effectively deploy deploy our application very immediately. Just before 5 years or 10 years ago, minimum 8 years ago, the exact when I started my career with one of my company, very first company, there the actual this build and deployment strategy is like development team ready the code. Once the code is ready, they will request build team to build their application, and once the package, from the build, the package will get ready, and once the package is ready, it will deploy. The package will have to deploy into the target servers. See, there are so many teams: development team and build team. Development team will request build team this, and so we have to package it, and we have to build it, and we have to compile the code and all those things. Once the this thing packaging software is done, again development team requests the operation team like, my package is ready, and your code compilation and everything is packaged into single package, either zip, rpm package, zip package, jar, var, er, whatever it is. It depends on the application type. There are so many things. So once my package software is ready to install, the package will be handed over to operations team. At that time, operation team will start deploying and monitoring and operate. They have preparing all those things, monitoring the deploy. They will have to first deploy the application into lower environments and testing the application. And testing team will be testing phase is different, but operations activities like mainly deployment and monitoring and operations, and they will note down what is the latest package and what is the older package. They will note down all those things. They will maintain all the released packages and all those things. There are here, from this DevOps components, what you need to understand, there are two separate phases earlier: development activities and operations. Ops means operations activities. Teams, again, a part of operation, there are many teams: a deployment team and a Linux admin team and release team, and only to monitor there are different teams. And here I am not talking about teams. I'm talking about different phases: development phases and operations phases, operations activities and development activities. Again, part of development, we have different teams: build team and coding, this coding developer, actual developers teams, and managers and testing teams, and architectures and all. Now, what what DevOps is expecting, we have to reduce our time. As I have given you one example, there is a gap between, developers are requesting build team to build the software. Build team, developers needs to wait until the build is completed. Again, once the build is done, developers are requesting operations team to perform development and managing this. Perform the development and target servers. Again, developers needs to wait until the deployment is completed. See, here there is a lot of time is wasting. Earlier, just before 8 years ago, this is what exactly was happening. Nowadays, the expectation is like, whatever it is happening, whatever the tools you choose and whatever the process you choose, companies are expecting like, we have to reduce the time between different teams, different areas. Like the major areas are like development components and operations teams and development teams. So we have to fill the gap between all these teams, development activities and operations activities. So to fill the gap between these teams, we have various concepts like CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous delivery. So we have different processes and different tools to automatically deploy our package into the target environments. Okay, so using those automated tools, we have to implement a strategy, a process or activity. So a practice, you have to practice to automate the everything, kind of build, deployment, monitor and all those things. For that, nowadays we have, to fulfill that requirement, what is the requirement? We have to fill the gap between all these teams, all these activities also. One buzzword is come into the picture, one process, one practice is coming to the picture. What is that? DevOps. They are combining. That's why we are combining DevOps. Okay, So from this, what I'm trying to explain a little bit more, DevOps is not at all a new. Dev, and if you see individually, dev and ops activities are not at all new. Even dev practice and operations activities, and I mean the teams part of development activities, the teams part of operations activities are not at all new. It's there in whenever the software SDLC started, I mean software development is started, we have all these activities. Only the thing is we have to reduce the time between the teams. We have to reduce the time between the activities. We have to reduce the time between all these things. So there is a practice coming into the picture, a kind of automation is the buzzword nowadays. That is what DevOps coming to the picture. So the main intention is, Babu, I mean, guys, you all the teams wasting time. Development team is requesting you. You are wasting your time. You have your SLAs, and he is requesting you to build, and you are taking more than 1 hour to build your application. I mean, there is a minimum SLA. Like once the developer is requested to perform a build, there is a minimum. I mean, maximum 6 hours and minimum 1 hour. So it's almost 6 hours are they are wasting. I mean, it's not a wasting. This is a process actually. I mean. They implemented a process as per a process they're following. Now the DevOps is coming into the picture, and DevOps is trying to fill that gap between all those teams and fill the they're removing the reducing the time between all those activities. So that's why DevOps automation is coming into the picture. DevOps is nothing but something like a single tool, and nothing but is something like one team. DevOps automation tools are new. Only the tools are new. Using the tools, what we are doing, we are implementing a new process. That is what DevOps process or DevOps practice. We are following DevOps practice, and we are implementing CI/CD tools. I mean CI/CD process and continuous integration, continuous deployment. There are some terms: DevOps, continuous integration, continuous deployment, and continuous monitoring, continuous analyzing. Okay, continuous testing. These are all terms comes under DevOps. Okay, so we have to reduce the time. I mean, DevOps with Agile and DevOps automation tools are new, and DevOps with Agile is come. I mean, little bit new in recent past 8 years. DevOps with Agile is new. DevOps practice almost is helping, like it is reducing the time between different development activities, and DevOps is also reducing the infrastructure cost. Also, you will see once the Docker and Kubernetes coming into the picture, it is reducing a lot of infrastructure cost. I mean AWS also, cloud, even AWS also, it is reducing a lot of infrastructure cost. Instead of managing your own infrastructure, you can go for cloud, like any AWS or Azure, Amazon Web Services or Azure, or any Google Cloud platform, GCP. So here from this, what you need to understand, the final points are like DevOps is not at all new. Development activities and operations activities are there whenever we started into this IT industry. I mean, this whenever you started software development activities. So only the thing is the tools are new. The tools are encouraging us to automate the process. The tools are giving a clue, like you can reduce your time between your teams and your development activities or operations activities. So there are various tools in each and every area, in each and every phase. Okay, so DevOps is reducing a lot of infrastructure costs. That is why nowadays the most of the companies are trying to implement this DevOps process. Okay, DevOps process means nothing but is not a single tool. They will have to adapt, they will have to ready to adapt so many number of tools which are all part of DevOps. Okay, now Agile, and I would like to explain one more thing, like a little bit point, like Agile methodology. It's one of the software development life cycle. See what Agile methodology is helping to the industry. Like every 3 months you'll have to move. I mean, for example, in our banking application, you have for example, I'm a bank manager, I mean bank owner, and you are going to develop a software for me. I'm asking you, I mean I will ask you, like whether you want to deliver the entire software after 1 year or 2 years, once the testing and thoroughly everything is done. Or the second approach is, I will ask you, I want releases, I mean I want releases for each and every 3 months or quarterly or 1 month or 2 months. whatever. I will ask you to deliver my application for every 3 months. See, banking application includes so many things: transfer, adding user, removing the user, registering user, keep providing a bank account, and maintaining the users, and databases are required. So many things are required. So here, if I ask you to release my application, I mean deliver my application for every 3 months, and you cannot deliver everything in a single day. So you will have to follow one strategy. You have to follow some one of the principle, like one of the software development lifecycle, one of the popular software development like that is agile methodology. Earlier we have different software development cycle, waterfall. I mean, previous days they will deliver their projects into after 1 year, for every 1 year or every 2 years or something. There is a that is a different software development life cycle. Nowadays, everyone, 99% people are using agile methodology only. Means I'm expecting very quick deliveries, very frequent deliveries. For every 3 months, I want my deliveries. Like for every 3 months, I'm expecting in this particular first 3 months, I'm expecting only transfer, adding the user or user able to log in, user able to register. After 3 months, I'm expecting some transfer, one transfer from one account to another account. After 3 months, I may expect some other IMPS and NEFT features and all. So they are dividing, they are planning and designing the application, something like that. So from this agile methodology, what you understand, very fast, very quick deliveries. So to give you, I mean, to give the very quick delivery and the very fast deliveries, we have to choose the very automated tools, very supported tools also. I mean, what are all the tools are compatible with agile methodology? I mean, that means we have to deliver our software very quickly. That means we need a tool to quick, very quick deployment, automated deployment and automated way, which in automated very efficient. I mean, for example, in terms of code, where we can manage our code efficiently, where we can very quickly deliver our software, like very quickly deployment, very quick build tools. I mean, we need these kind of tools. DevOps practice is providing those kind of tools. Automated tools are providing these many features. That is why agile methodology is almost closely compatible with DevOps. Either in reverse also we can, vice versa also we can. DevOps is almost compatible with agile methodology. That's why people are almost trying to use DevOps practice part of their agile software development lifecycle. So because DevOps itself the main, if you are going to approach and adopt DevOps practice, that means you will get a very quick, you can expect a very quick build, very quick, I mean, what is it? Very quick deliveries, like very quick deployment, fast build, and fast analysis, and fast coding, fast report, and fast notification, very quick, immediate notifications, and all. So that is what you need to understand. DevOps is not a single tool like any RPA and like any Selenium, like any Spring, or like any other tool. DevOps is a combination of so many tools. So what are the tools? Now you may have a question like, what are the tools? I mean, for which purpose I need to use these tools, and which category I have to use the tools. If you remember, there are a lot of activities comes under development, and a lot of activities comes under operations also. So in each and every stage, coding to manage the code, we have a different tools, and to build very, I mean, as I told you, we need a very I mean, we need a tool which can build very fast, so that we can get a very package in very short term, and then we can immediately deploy into our application. We need a tool where we can quickly deploy our application into target environments. We need a tool, where we can monitor our application, whether it is whether my application is healthy or not, whether my application is down or up, whether my server is up or down. For these, for all these activities, we have a different tools, automated tools in part of DevOps actually. Okay, now I'm going to, this is something about what and why is DevOps, and why industry is expecting, why industries are hugely investing on DevOps also, because they can reduce their infrastructure cost, they can reduce a lot of cost also. I mean, in deployment time, they can reduce a lot of time also. They can get they deliver very quickly. Okay, that is why now industries are expecting to implement to follow the DevOps practice, the DevOps automation tools also. Okay, and you here there are some set of tools. That's why I cannot include all those tools in single slide. That's why I have created a GitHub one of the page. I'm going to open that page. I'll open this page and I will show you. Hope you clear, right? If you have anybody have any questions till that, I'm going to explain you something about DevOps tools. What are all the automated tools and which area? How many categories are there and all those things. Clear, right?
Narayana, Suresh here. Hello.
Yeah, Suresh.
Narayana, I want to know that, so in market, current market, what are the SDLC SDLC methods are going on? So as you said
Mostly,
that
mostly as a
Agile only.
99%
So
as
before
well.
that,
Yeah, 99% as
so,
well. Yeah.
before that, so which I think I know that the waterfall method also there, right? So DevOps
Yeah.
is supported the waterfall.
Yeah, DevOps, you see, DevOps tools are providing some automation activities. Okay, if you can use, I mean, you can still use in Waterfall also, but it will give you very quick, I mean, very quick updates on build and deployments and all those things. If you want to use, you can use. There is nothing problem. There is no problem with DevOps tools. You can use.
Okay. So
Okay.
okay. Okay. So currently there are only two SDLC methods are there. One is waterfall and the second thing is the agile model. The current one is
Yes,
right.
correct, correct. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, here why I'm talking about agile methodology. DevOps is is almost like is providing you automated tools. Those automated tools are mostly compatible where we can get quick deliveries and all. So where we are exactly expecting that quick builds, deployments and quick deliveries and all in part of agile methodology. Nowadays most of the people are using agile methodology. Every quarter releases and every 3 months releases, every 1 month release also there. So mostly DevOps is compatible with Agile methodology. Almost 90%, 99% of most of the companies are using Agile methodology also. So whoever is following Agile methodology, most of the companies are trying to practice and implementing these DevOps practice, these DevOps processes, these DevOps tools. What are the tools part of DevOps? That's what I'm trying to highlight here. Okay. So okay. uh, Part of this automation, part of these things, like we have so many things. See, for example, as I given you an example, I'm a bank owner. I'm asking you to develop an application software application where I can perform, where I can manage my account users, bank users, and where I can manage my transactions and all, everything, almost all these things. You may choose any application, whether you can develop an application using Python web application or .NET web application. It may be Java, you can use Angular, or you can use Android. You can, for mobiles you can use Android. You may use any of the suitable programming language or suitable technologies for your development purpose. So whatever the technology you have chosen, for every, based on your technology, we have a different set of tools and different set of teams also, different set of DevOps practices also there. Okay. So here how many, I mean, at least you may have like there is a Java technology, .NET, Angular, Android, mainframes, Python, Salesforce. At least you may have this many number of technologies. Based on these, we have different DevOps areas or different DevOps operations like Java DevOps, .NET DevOps, Angular DevOps, and Android DevOps, Python DevOps, mainframes DevOps also there. Earlier, very first time when I saw something about mainframes DevOps, I really surprised or shocked, a little bit shocked. I mean, even for mainframes also, they are trying to see the very quick these kind of part of they are trying to reduce the time between different teams. That's why they are trying to adopt the DevOps practices. So even for mainframes, the very old one, even now mainframes is still running. Mainframes DevOps also there, and Salesforce DevOps, cloud operations, only to maintain infrastructure, only to automate the infrastructure thing, and dev security operations. So there are different so many areas are there under DevOps. Okay, but among these, what exactly I need to learn, and what are the first of all, before that, I would like to explain the different areas where we can automate, and what are the tools which are part of DevOps. Okay, I mean operating system, the OS platform. You obviously know, even if you may logged into one of the Windows machine. Windows server is there almost. I mean, you may heard about like Linux, Red Hat operating system, and even to CentOS, Linux based, Linux flavored operating systems. Most of the uh, companies are using Linux for their uh, production environments, and even my Windows also there, but percentage, if you see, 80 to 90% Linux operating systems only, Linux servers only. Okay, and as I explained you, there are different stages and components, right? Coding part and building part and testing part and planning part. See, for example, as I given you one example, if you, I mean, if you are a developer, you have to maintain your code efficiently. For that, we have a tools, I mean, we have the tools like Git based tools, GitLab, GitHub, Bitbucket, Gerrit, and SVN, RTC. Still there are so many old tools also, but currently almost 80 to 90%, approximately 90 to 95%, or we can say 95% also. If you ask me, almost 2 years ago or 3 years ago, 50-50%, 50% Git and 50% SVN, and rest of other tools also. But nowadays 90% of the companies are expecting, are trying to adopt Git. They are still, I mean, they are already using Git related tools, either GitLab and GitHub and Bitbucket. Git based tools. Version control, we say like where we can manage our original code, whether it is Java code or .NET code. Okay, that is what version control, code management tools. In simply, to make you understand, even we can say it like code management tools. Okay, and build tools. Once the, I mean, after the code is ready, we have to build our software. We have to package it, we have to compile the code. For example, you write your code in Java, you write your code in some C sharp, you write in code in some other language. We have to compile, right? For example, for A plus B addition, you write something like A plus B minus B or something. We have to compile that code, whether it is according to our technology. If it is a Java, we have a tools like compiling and packaging, tools like build tools, like we are calling it as build tools. And for Java, we have Ant, Maven, Gradle. For .NET applications or C sharp application, we have MS Build and Ant. Still, in some areas are using, some companies are using PowerShell script also. Okay, to build to build their applications. And for Angular, Node, NPM. Likewise, if you choose the technology, according to the technology, the tool will be changed. For Golang, there is a make or rake or something. So based on the technology, there is a build tool also. And CI/CD tools, as I told you, continuous integration and continuous delivery to fill the gap between all those teams, build team and deployment team and operations team, gap between developers and build, and development and build and deployment. We You can implement some pipelines, CI/CD pipeline, continuous integration pipelines and continuous delivery pipelines from once the code is ready, we have to build deployment and test. I mean, with the minimum test scenarios to fulfill. I mean, to fulfill the requirement, there are some popular tools available in our market. Jenkins, TeamCity, Bamboo, and there are so many Travis CA, something. There are so many tools are there, but 70 to 80%, almost 70 to 80% of the companies are using Jenkins. Okay, Jenkins only. Even some companies are using TeamCity or Bamboo. In job description, they will mention, whenever they are hiring outside candidate, they are mentioning about Jenkins only. People are aware of Jenkins because TeamCity and Bamboo are almost similar tools to Jenkins. So if you hire any guy like who knows Jenkins, I mean, they can easily learn TeamCity and Bamboo other tools. So, it's a simple tool and easy to learn. But almost it's a centralized tool where we are integrating all the tools, and where we are defining pipelines, CI/CD pipelines and all. Okay, this is a very important tools. and code quality check. As I told you, code quality check. I mean, you may write some code, we have to check the code quality. I mean, the developer, how he written the code, is it necessary, how many lines of code and all. For that, in that area we have Sonar Cube. Nowadays 90% of the companies are using almost Sonar Cube only. Almost 90 to 90% are using Sonar Cube only. There are other tools, but most probably you will see Sonar Cube only. And repository managers, package managers. Once the build is done, we have to maintain our own releases every day, the packages. For example, today you build your application only with your banking application, only with transaction, only with login application. To maintain your packages into one permanent location where you can manage your packages efficiently, whether it is a zip package or tar packages or rpm packages, or it is simple Angular packages, or it is a simple jar var er packages, and all, where we can maintain efficiently those packages. We have some very efficient tools like JFrog company, and the tool name is Artifactory, JFrog Artifactory, and Nexus and RAM. There are so many other tools, but 50-50. Most of the companies, almost 40 to 45% of companies are using Artifactory and Nexus. Most probably you will see only these tools, Artifactory and Nexus. Very rarely you will see other tools, RAM and other Artifact and other tools. But maximum percentage cases you will see Artifactory and Nexus only. But if you know one tool, if you know something about one tool, you can easily understand other tools also. Okay. And application servers, depends on again the package type. If it is a simple web application, where applications, Tomcat is more enough. And ER applications and where applications, for any kind of application, the IBM WebSphere application services, the WebLogic Oracle tool, and JBoss for Windows applications, IIS server is there. Okay, and depends on the application type. This application server will be changed. Application servers means once a package is ready, you have to run your application, right? Every day you have to run your application. You have to, I mean, you, if you deploy your application, that means you are deploying your application into one of the application servers. That means application servers will take care of running or executing your application. Okay, to do that, there are so many number of tools based on your technology. And after that, to automate some activities, internal, either internal team, to integration to I mean, there are so many number of tools, right? To integrate one tool to another tool, and to automate your activities, deployment activities, or either build activities, and either to set up the pipelines. There are so many scripts which are required in our DevOps. Not may be mandatory. In companies, they are automating their process using any of these scripts. In such a case, it is mandatory. In some companies, they will not at all use script, they can use directly the tools, whatever the tools are available. So at least you may have some basic knowledge on any of the scripting knowledge, I mean any of the scripts. I mean, but in our part of DevOps, there are so many number of scripts are available. Scripts are, and containers, sorry, containerization, past 2-3 years. Actually, Docker is there almost, they introduced in 2013, I remember. I'm not sure exactly, but the thing is, companies have started using in recent 2-3 years only. Before that, there is no something like containerization or thing. This is a complete, the new way of managing your infrastructure, managing your application, managing your entire infrastructure. Okay, infrastructure means the servers, how to managing servers and running your application. So that is a container technology. This you can say it is the new, the new evolution also, the new thing, a new approach to maintain your entire infrastructure. Like so Docker is the 95% almost are using Docker. And the rest of some companies are using Microsoft containers, CARO, Doc, RKT and all. Container management, Docker is providing creating containers and how to manage those containers efficiently. We have so many number of tools, Docker, Swarm, and Kubernetes, Apache Mesos. There's so many tools. Okay, again, containers platform, Docker will provide containers, and Kubernetes and Docker Swarm, these are all, they can provide some there are some management management things. So these tools, how we can use efficiently these Docker and Kubernetes. There are other platform container management platform tools like OpenShift, Helm, and EKS, and from AWS, and GKE and AKS from Azure also. Okay, so there are different. I mean, why I'm telling all this thing? There are different areas. So for each and every area, there are many number of tools are available under DevOps. As per one of the survey, there are more than 200 tools are available for DevOps. Okay, you may have a question immediately like how many tools I have to learn. I will tell you. I will explain that later. And I haven't completed yet. For each and every category, we have these many number of tools for monitoring. For example, you deployed your application into sorry, target servers. We have to health check and we have to get alerts and we have to check the logs. If one service is down, we have to check the logs, why it is down, and whether it is a resources issue, whether it is a RAM, CPUs, or memory issue, and you have to you have to monitor your applications. For that, there are different types of applications. We will learn more about all these things, part of our training. And cloud, instead of maintaining your own infrastructure, you can go for cloud. That's it. There is no difference. You don't think like cloud is something different. That is the difference. Cloud is a newly introduced technology, but instead of, for example, you started a company, and part of your company you may have your own Linux servers. You purchase your Linux servers from Red Hat or some other companies, and you are starting. You may have a network team, and you may have your own servers. Okay, you may have your own Linux servers and that. Instead of managing your own infrastructure, you can use and you can pay some rent, and you can use cloud tools like AWS, Amazon Web Services, and Azure or Google Cloud Platform. There you can manage your own infrastructure. There you can build your infrastructure. There you can hire, you can pay some rent per monthly or yearly, and you can create your own servers, Linux servers or Windows servers. There are so many. It can provide so many number of unlimited. There are so many number of operations. I mean, so many number of services as part of each and every cloud. That is what the most popular clouds are like AWS and Azure, GCP. Almost all are popular. Sorry. So that is the purpose of these cloud. Instead of managing your own servers, you can simply pay rent, and then you can use AWS and Azure or Google platform, whatever is the providing very less cost. You can choose any of it. That's why something. It's nothing but maintaining your infrastructure. For automated deployments and automatic software updates, automatic software upgrades and downgrades, and for everything, almost for other purposes, you can use configuration management tool, Ansible, Puppet, Chef, IBM Urban Code deployment tool, and for Selenium automation test cases. Once our web application is ready, you want to test with the sample test scenarios with the sample test data, user login, and if what happen if 100 user login at a time to application, whether the application can able to accept all those user able to log in into this or not. Some say, for test automation tool, Selenium has it. Project management, documents to manage our documents, ticketing tools and all. We have different tools: Jira, Confluence, SharePoint, Track, and ServiceNow. Sorry, Remedy, which is an IBM tool for ticketing management, incident management, ServiceNow. So for that, we have different tools. For developers, we have IDEs like Eclipse, IntelliJ, IBM RAD, and Visual Studios and all. So these are all now industry is expecting. These are all different areas, different purposes. We have so many number of efficient and effective and automated tools. Okay, which are all useful to implement this DevOps practice, where we can expect very fast builds, very fast deliveries, very fast deployments, very fast notification whenever the service is down or build is done, very fast notification, where we can efficiently manage our code. Okay, where we can integrate all these tools, whatever the tools we have seen, we can use it. So sorry. So for to automation and uh, for your software development activities, DevOps is the best solution. where we can get fast builds and deployments and deliveries. So these many number of tools are available. Now you may have a question like, among these all these tools, how many tools I have to learn? How many areas also? See, if I see OS, version control and build tool, and do I need to learn all these things? Even real case also, only single person is taking care of all these tools and I mean working on all these tools. You may have all these questions, but in reality it is not like that. Only for entry purpose you have to learn as much as you can. Okay. Even I cannot limit like only these tools are required for interview. I cannot say like that. Even nobody can say like that. You can learn as much as you can as part of this training. You can perform your interview and you can join. Once you in real time, once you join in your organizations, I mean there is nothing like you need to work on all these tools. Maybe combination of 4 tools, maximum 4 or 5 tools. Apart from that, you are not going to work on 10 tools or 12 tools and all. Okay, it is not like that. So among all these tools we have chosen some, just a minute. I mean we have chosen some tools. Okay, some set of tools for our training. Let me show you that. Um Most probably our training start from Monday to Friday only, weekdays only. Most probably it will be 7:30 to 8:30. Some people are asking like we can adjust from 8 to 9, or some people are asking 7 to 8 is early. We need to go for walking and some gym and all. So we have seen some comfortable timings like 7:30 to 8:30. This is mostly we cannot able to change, but most probably it will be. And see, this is a operating system. What we are going to tell you some commands about Linux. What is Linux and what are the commands you need to know, some knowledge on Linux. Okay. And the cloud, we have chosen an AWS. For each and every category we have chosen a single tool only. We don't want you to confuse about all these tools. For example, some training institute are telling like part of cloud, they are telling you AWS, Azure, GCP, they will tell you everything. But what is the point? At least you can gain some medium, at least intermediate level knowledge in AWS. You can compare the same concepts with other tools also. You can compare the same concepts, whatever the concepts, topics we are going to learn in AWS. We can compare the same things in AWS, I mean Azure and other related tools also. If you compare, if you start comparing the same scenarios, and you can easily learn other tools also. For example, today you learn AWS. Okay, and in a real case you may work on GCP or Azure. Maybe some terminologies, some features and services are different, but overall purpose is same. Maintaining your infrastructure, you have to create your servers, you have to provide a security to your servers, you have to create users, you have to give some permissions to the users, you have to maintain your databases. So these are all conceptually all are almost same, even working style little bit different. Okay, that's why we don't want to confuse you by telling you all the number of tools, similar tools. We will give you training on each and every category with a single tool. That single tool also, why we have chosen, there are so many parameters like for infrastructure automation, Terraform, configuration management, Ansible, and version control, code management, GitHub. Apart from GitHub, there are so many number of tools are there. For build tool, we have chosen a Maven. Why we have chosen? As per our current market, percentage wise, see, in terms of Jenkins, most of the companies are using Jenkins only. Most probably 70 to 80% of the companies are using. For example, if you started taking interviews, most of the job descriptions you will see, most of the requirements you will see with Jenkins. I'm not saying 100% Jenkins, I'm saying at least for 10, 7 you will see Jenkins. Per 10, 8 you will see Git based tools. Per 10, almost 7, 6 to 7 you'll see Ansible. Almost all you will see Terraform. 9 for 10, 10 profiles you will see 9%, I mean 9 profiles you will see Terraform. Almost 6%, 6 to 7%, to 6 to 7 profiles you will see AWS. Likewise, as per current requirement, we have chosen the popular tools. Most of the companies are using, what are the tools current companies are using? Based on that, we have chosen Docker. Almost 95 to 99% they are using Docker only. Likewise, we have chosen the tools, one single tool for each and every area. We don't want to confuse you with the multiple tools, multiple similar tools for a single area. We want to give you conceptually a strong idea on DevOps. Okay, that's why we have chosen a number of areas. Operating system, what is the cloud we are going to discuss and learn, and what is how we can efficiently manage the code management tools and build tools, CI/CD pipeline, how we can set up our pipelines, and code quality check, repository managers, and all. Again, you may have a question like, again, there are almost like 10 to 12 tools, and where exactly I have to be very strong. Again, you can filter. Okay, I will tell you that. But this is what we are, this is what the exact tool set we are going to discuss as part of our training in next 2 months once you join in our training. Okay, this is something about training plan. And one last thing I'm going to show you. Most probably you may have a question like you may have a question like okay, I will learn all these tools. I mean, what is my um, where exactly I'm going to work. Like I said earlier, you are not going to work on all these 10, 20 tools. Maximum you are going to work on 5. In some cases, you may be work on 5 or 6 tools. That too, you may have to be very strong. You may have to be very strong in these tools. See where to focus. Primarily, you have to focus. If you learn something about Jenkins, and you may have you can be an expert in Jenkins, and there is nothing now. You can dig into the Jenkins. You can go to many number of forums, and you can learn as much as you can all these tools, because in our current expectation is you have to be very good knowledge on all these tools, Jenkins and code management tools, and the containerization technologies, container orchestrations, infrastructure automation, and cloud. So in these areas you can have very good knowledge, and you can have very strong knowledge, and where you can have some, at least some basic knowledge. At least I mean, industrial expecting, at least you can have some basic knowledge, like one build tool Nexus, where you can manage your packages and configuration management tool, Grafana and ELK. Okay, at least you should have some strong knowledge on all these things. I can understand if you started learning on all these things, you will get a lot of confusion, and where I can be very strong and where I can learn all these things. Do I need to be very strong and expertise in all these tools? No, not at all required. Even if you join in your a new company or whatever in current opportunity, whenever we give an opportunity with the DevOps, you are finally going to work on some set of tools only, maximum 4 or 5 or 6. That's it. Even 4 or 5 also, you don't need to be very expertise in all these things. That's what the reality. But to for interview purpose, at least try to have very strong knowledge or very good knowledge in all these tools. At least have some basic knowledge in all these tools. That's why we have chosen this course. And part of this course, even we will provide you number of hours. We will spend a little bit, 10 hours on Kubernetes, okay, 10 hours on AWS. I mean, we are 10 hours means 10 days. We are providing most of the concepts. I mean, we are spending a lot of hours on these tools, very important tools, very to I mean the tools where you can get where you need to get proper, I mean, strong knowledge and also very less number, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, so we can complete these many number of tools. Okay, so this is something about infrastructure. Again, if you categorize servers, automation, server automation, there are different categories in DevOps. We have different categories like infrastructure DevOps and build and deployment area, CI/CD implementations. So almost as I told you, there are development activities and operations activities, right? If you are very strong, very good knowledge in all these things, you maybe work on as an infrastructure management, infrastructure automation, cloud ops, and infrastructure admin, like Linux admin, and you may be part of this. And you may be part of, if you are very strong, and I mean, if you get an opportunity to work on only CI/CD pipeline setup and deployments and writing scenarios for deployment and all those things, you may be part of build and deployment DevOps category, build engineer, build and release engineer, build and DevOps engineers, senior DevOps engineer. You may be part of these things. Okay, these are a number of. I'm like I said earlier, there are two main categories: build, dev activities and operation activities. According to that, you may be part of only dev, and you may be part of ops. You may be part of in both the areas also. Combinedly, you may work on all these things also. Okay. So this is something about our training plan. So if you have any questions, you can.
Yeah. Hi, Venkat. This is Anuj.
Yeah, hi.
Venkat, I'm an Oracle DBA. So how it will useful for me? Is it having any coding part or usually a
Um,
particular DevOps is not that much useful?
yeah, I understand. I understand your question. Most of the people are asking like DevOps may include coding part or not. It's again, uh, but it depends on. I cannot say 100% coding part is not required. I cannot say 100% is coding is required. Some, like I said earlier, some companies are automating their DevOps process, their build and deployment activities using scripting. In such a case, in some of the job descriptions, you will see at least some scripting knowledge is required. That's why we are going to provide you some scripting knowledge and Groovy script and what is it, Jenkins pipeline script. At least you cannot escape in one area. That is what pipeline script in Jenkins. Part of Jenkins, we are going to teach you some scripting, Jenkins pipeline scripts. It is very easy to understand. So that is 100% is required. Jenkins pipeline scripts is really required for our. Apart from that, other wherever in other areas wherever we used the automated things like either Groovy script or Python script. In some companies, they might ask you like whether you are expert in Python scripting or Groovy scripting or shell scripting or any Java scripting or Ruby, Perl, and all those things. It's a very optional. Some companies may require. Some companies might need some script, a strong scripting knowledge. Some companies might need a basic knowledge. That's why we are giving you, as part of our training, we are giving you some knowledge on any of the scripting like Groovy scripting and Jenkins pipeline scripting, so that you will get him at least you'll have some basic knowledge on scripting area. Okay, but I don't want to say 100% you need a scripting knowledge. It is not like that. Nowhere it is not like that. In any company, we cannot say 100% companies. 100 companies are using scripting only. Some companies, 30% of companies still using scripting to automate their activities. So in some areas, some companies may expect some scripting knowledge. So that is why we are giving you some basic knowledge on scripting, but it's not 100% you need required. If you are not very good in coding, you can leave it. You can simply tell like we are almost working on automated tools only. We are using Jenkins and these tools only. User interface. I mean,
Before,
some of the tools are have like user interface. So we are working in this. We worked in this area. So you can say that in that case I mean, almost 70% of the companies not at all using any coding part, but 100% you need some knowledge on pipeline scripting. We will give you some strong knowledge and some the real scenarios and all. We are spending some 10 hours on Jenkins, so that end of the Jenkins you will know what is Jenkins pipeline script also. Okay, you don't need to be worried about the coding part. You don't need to be very strong and you don't need to be expertise in coding, but you will have to some knowledge. You will have some knowledge in this coding part. Okay,
and
some basic.
making chapter-wise topics. For suppose chapter one, introduction, one session, like that. The type of list. I want the type of list. For suppose chapter four, that is Jenkins 10 session. Like, do you have any template for that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We will. I mean, actually, we have around 40 plus hours. We are almost 40 hours we are spending. We'll give you some overview on Linux and minimum 3 hours we are spending, and the very important command. At least you will have some knowledge on
Yeah,
Linux.
I'm having knowledge in line.
Okay. Likewise, we are spending some 10 hours on AWS. Some infrastructure automation 2 hours is required. Ansible 3 hours we are
Yeah,
spending, and we are going to
yeah,
give you.
I want that document chapter-wise. How much
So you
time?
need this one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, okay, I will share you, not a problem. Okay,
yeah.
I will share you this. That's not a primary thing, but what I'm suggesting you, not only you and everyone, try to be very strong in conceptually. What is DevOps and what is the primary intention of DevOps? Because if you focus on theoretical concepts and DevOps, what is the main expectation of DevOps? If you focus on that, today you may work on Jenkins, and tomorrow, whenever you change the company, or tomorrow in the same companies, they might have migrate to some other tool. which will fulfill the Jenkins. In such a case, Jenkins will no longer will be useful. So try to be, even if whenever you are trying to learn on Jenkins, try to be very conceptually strong. What is Jenkins conceptually providing? What is the importance of Jenkins, and what is the in Git? What is the main concepts of Git? What is the main basic functionalities is providing? Conceptually, we try to be very strong. The branching strategies, coding, maintenance technologies, and all those things, try to be very strong in conceptually. And once you are very very good in conceptually, you can work on any other tools also. Okay, that's what my main suggestion. Apart from that, to for your entry purpose, try to be very try to have a very good knowledge on all these things, strong knowledge and very good and strong knowledge on all these things. Try to have a basic knowledge on all these things. Part of our training, we are going to cover all those things. Okay, I will share you that hours and course. Anybody have any questions? Okay, if you guys don't have any questions, you can close the session. You can call us also. You can contact us if you have any questions. Okay, we will start our daily sessions from Monday. Okay, once we started our sessions, we will not. I mean, most probably only for public holidays we are going to give you holidays, but only if there is an internet disconnect, some power issues and internet issues. Only 99% we will not have any holidays between Monday to Friday. If it is a public holiday, or if it is an any internet issues or power issues and all. Okay, apart from these issues, there is no stop like that. And one more thing I would like to tell you, among all these tools, we are planning to start every tool either Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday only. We will not start a new tool either on Thursday or Friday. Why? See, for example, we start AWS on Monday. Okay, in between you will get 2 days holidays like Saturday and Sunday. I mean, some people may not have efficient. I mean, some time enough time to practice in weekdays. So almost we will cover 5 days. Means 5 hours sessions. However, we are going to provide some recording sessions. So during weekends, I mean Saturday and Sunday, you can plan your practice at least continuous 2 hours, continuous 3 hours, or continuous one day. I mean 1 hour or something. You can plan like that. That is why we will start a new tool every Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday only. Between these 3 days only, we will not start any new tool on Thursday or Friday, so that you can plan your practice accordingly. That is why we will, I mean, that is why we are planning like this. Okay.
What about that practice? So how you can provide that practice?
We will provide you everything. And one more thing I would like to mention, most probably 70 to 80% is theoretical only. I mean, sorry, practical only. Only the rest of the percentage is 20% like to give you the idea what is the purpose of the tool, and some theoretical explanation what is the purpose of the tool. And immediately we will jump into the practical session on how to install and how to integrate and how to create a job and how to practice it, and everything we will give you in GitLab documentation. Okay, either what documentation we will share you immediately. You can practice accordingly with the screenshots and everything. Okay.
Uh, you have to provide the test instance screening from either Zoom or like that, any remote screen share session to practice all these things.
Sorry, can you please repeat?
Yeah, you can provide any remote screen share session to practice servers. That's
No,
servers.
we are, see, we are not going to provide you any infrastructure for your practice. We will provide you only documents. After that, we will tell you how to practice on AWS or in your local machine, how to install a tool, either using AWS any Linux servers or in your local machines also. After that, we are not going to provide you any AWS sample machines and from our account, because it's the cost based. You can create your own. We will tell you how to practice on AWS with a very less cost. Okay, it's that's not it will not give you that much cost. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Narayana, Suresh here.
Yeah, Suresh.
Is it possible to show us the any real time environment infrastructure from one class, how the jobs
Uh,
reduced, everything?
I I understand. Everybody is expecting the same also, but
Yeah, that
I
will
will
be
tell you one thing.
helpful us.
Yeah, yeah. I would like to. Yeah, this will not at all help you, Suresh. I will tell you one scenario. See, you are in. See, after the training, you are still in basics with AWS. You are still in basic with Terraform. You are still in basics with GitLab. I mean, Ansible and all. First you will have to get some basic idea.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, it's just training is training. That's what I'm trying to. Openly, I'm talking. You see, I don't want to give you any promise like I will share my screen. I will show you my work environment. That is a coding policy. I mean, that is a violation, something. But part of our training, I will tell you the real scenarios in Jenkins in real time, in real scenario. This is how we are practicing. This is how we are implementing in Maven also. This is how we are implementing. This is how we are using our in real time. Part of our training sessions, we will tell you the real scenarios. Okay,
Okay.
but apart from that, nobody can share their screen and nobody can tell you. Even I don't know about others, but we cannot breach the policy. I mean the policy violations and all. We cannot show you, and that is one thing. The secondary, even any of your friend is working on their DevOps real environment, just go and ask him, and he will show you the real the DevOps practice and all. You really cannot understand. Maybe you understand 1%, 2%. You cannot understand 19% of the DevOps implementation, because in day one I started installing Ansible and integrating with other tools. In day one, I started installing Jenkins and practicing and creating jobs and whatever, practicing on Jenkins. Even real scenario. For example, we are all our team. Day one, I started with all these tools. Day two, I will add other things. Day three, I mean, what I am trying to explain, monthly, and every day we are adding so many things. Every day we are integrating so many things. After 1 year, what it will become? It is a huge, complex process. I mean, it's a complex infrastructure. We are implementing. I mean, day to day, we are implementing so many concepts and so many things into as per our requirement. So many things we are introducing into our. We are adding so many things into our existing DevOps process. So how we can understand? See, this is how we are using. This is the script we are using. If I show you the script, entire script, 100 lines of code, or sometimes we see 1,000 lines of Jenkins pipeline script also. How we can understand all these things? How I can your friend explain to you? I say these many number of stages are there. This is the scripting and all. So what I am trying to explain here, try to understand the basic importance of each and every tool, how to integrate one tool to another tool, how to understand the real scenarios what we are going to provide you as part of our training. That is more enough. And once you get some knowledge in all these tools, try to attend the interviews, at least minimum 10 to 15 interviews you have to attend. So part of interviews also will understand, okay, what is industry is expecting and where I have to improve in each and every tool, and what are the expectations from industry. You will understand all those things slowly. Okay, DevOps is like a ocean, like Java is. DevOps is I mean, I want to be very frank in this case. Basically, it is very don't think like it is a simple RTA, one single tool I can easily understand. I can easily try to understand. I can easily, if somebody shows you the real scenarios and real entire DevOps infrastructure, you can. It's really difficult to understand. I mean, your expectation also will be a little bit different. I mean, part of training, whatever you learned, you may have some imagination. Okay, this is how it is written. If somebody shows you that thing, again immediately will change. You will start confusing with that thing. Uh, uh, so many things. So what I'm suggesting you, try to learn the tools, whatever we are we are discussing in this part of this thing, part of this training. Get some strong knowledge in all these things. Face the interview. That's it. Don't think about the. We will give you all in each and every case. We are telling you the real scenarios only. With the real scenarios, first of all, I will tell you some basics about Git, some basics about Jenkins, and immediately we will tell you this is how we are using in our real case. For
Yeah, that
this
is also
particular
fine.
yeah, that is what we are going to tell you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that is fine. That is fine. So,
yeah,
what are the work
yeah, yeah,
you are daily doing in that
yeah,
your office
yeah.
now?
For each
That will
and
be for.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
For each and every tool, we will tell you the daily activities on each and every tool. For each and every tool, what is
Okay.
the expectation, what is the day-to-day activities, how we are communicating, and everything we are going to discuss. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions? Okay, if you don't have any questions, we can close this. And still, if you have any questions, you can contact us via WhatsApp call, or you can have, you have my numbers also. You can contact anybody. Okay. Okay, it's almost 8:53. Sorry, I took a lot of time to explain all those things. But once we started our session, is almost 55 minutes per day. Otherwise, 60 minutes. Only first 5 minutes we will see some connected issues, and rest of the 55 minutes we'll continuously discussing the topics. Once we started, there is no more break. Only for public holidays we will give you holiday, and that's it. Once we started, there is no more breaks and all. That's why I can. Anybody have any questions? Otherwise, we can. Okay. Thanks a lot for joining this session. Thanks for your time also. Uh, Bye for the day. Enjoy the
Narayana,
rest of the weekend. Yeah.
Narayana, Suresh here. So
Yeah, Suresh. Tell.
once the everyday class is finished now,
Yeah,
so
we
how
will
much
provide
time
the
it will take
recordings.
to recording? So
Most
in
end
that
of the day, mostly end of the day, mostly end of the day,
in
because
that it is.
yeah, because go to meeting is take sometime. This go to meeting is taking preparing the video within 1 minute. Sometimes it's taking full day. So it
Okay.
depends on the tool basically, but most probably once the record is ready on the go to meeting, we will immediately provide you the recording session. Okay, we'll
Okay. Okay.
immediately share you with email IDs. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Bye guys, it's almost 2 hours. Okay, bye bye. 1.5. Have a good day.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye, Narayana.
Bye. Yeah, thank you. Bye. Thank you all. Bye.